Tonight on VH1 Behind the Music, the story of the Ghost.
Hi, I am he who cannot be named, lead singer and primary songwriter of the Ghosts, and we are from Knoxville, Tennessee. And let me tell you a little something about Knoxville, Tennessee. In Knoxville, rock and roll's like taking out the garbage. It's something you gotta do every day.
The story of the Ghost is the story of many rock and roll bands. Pathetic, stupid, and best left untold. The band began in the back streets of crime-ridden West Knoxville when he who cannot be named had a vision.
Well, I mean, the Ghost started because I had a vision when Elvis Presley came to me and told me to start the Ghost, but that's not really that interesting a story. But what I think is interesting is when I found some of the members, like with Crack Baby Shivers. I found him under an overpass in Memphis, and he was really nice to have in the band because he had his own sleeping bag, and he had already been deloused, and that was important because of several health aspects that I'm sort of freaky about. And then we also have, we were able to find a drummer, Johnny, back then he was Johnny Satan, and we had some problems. He could be sort of evil at times. I remember one time he branded me in his sleep, but I was able to get that fixed through the workings of a very competent moil. But now he is Johnny Satin, and he is silky smooth, and everything goes just fine about that. Dr. Fabulous, you know, I had taken my cat in to get its eyelids done. It was looking a little sleepy. He did great work, and then we started talking. Turned out he played a little bass, and you know, I think the rest is really history. You know.
So I'm on my way back from what was it? Porn Expo '96, I think, and the plane's going down. Next thing, I mean, you know, it's like it's going down. We drop, and you know, it's shaking and everything, and I just, you know, I'm so scared. I guess I just blacked out, and then. You know, like, next thing I know, I'm, like, playing in a band, and, like, I could play drums and stuff, you know, it was just, I don't know, it was weird.
First, it was all about the money. Stories about the tour buses, and we had been promised major label record deals with multi-million-dollar contracts, and tours with the Southeast, and the East Coast, and the West Coast, and Canada, Mexico. And really, that was what I was thinking, lots of money. That was 4 years ago.
I was eating some chicken cordon bleu out of the dumpster at the rock pit on the corner of Pavement and Washgarvey, you know, and I heard some music coming from inside. I looked up on the marquee, and it said something, rock ballad band, something, the Ghosts, and I went in there, and man, they fucking rocked. And so I went up to them in their set break. I said, man, I've got 100 bandanas that I can wear on each leg.
The Ghost began playing shows anywhere they could. The band never failed to leave a distinct impression.
First time I seen Ghosts up at a bar called Paradise up in Rockport. I think they was opening up for a band called Sweet Cheater, and hell, I thought they sucked, to be honest. Sweet Cheater, now that's a good band right there. They got a good friend of mine, Jim Underwood, on guitar. He's a rocker.
Yeah, I remember one day when I was at work down at the MTV studios. I just happened to be in the screening room, and apparently the Ghost sent this video in to be on TRL. And I just remember catching a couple of glimpses of it. I couldn't help myself, but I'm trying to be as nice as I could, you know, especially about this, but it just sucked ass.
Well, first time I saw the Ghost, I remember I was at the Rockport barn party. I was spitting blood, pissing blood, and bleeding, man. You know, just a regular night. Huffing a little gasoline. And then I was sitting there. I was puking in the corner. And suddenly I hear this music, man. And I turn around to this guy who's standing over there next to me, and I'm like, man, like, who's that band, man? Who's that band?
And that guy said, "Man, that's a ghost, man." And it was right then that I realized they could be the most important band since Sammy Hagar.
Well, yeah, my first time, I really can't talk about it. I don't feel comfortable talking about it. It was something very personal to me. I don't think it would be something I could share with the public at large.
You know, I first saw the Ghosts in 1993 at one of Sammy Hagar's all-night sex rock and roll parties. And I thought to myself, no, this band's never going anywhere. And then sure enough, about 2 years later, they kept mailing me their CD and saying, "You've got to sign me." And I said, "No way, I'll never have nothing to do with you, ever." And so, after another 3 months, finally the letter came and they said they would pay us. And so basically I'm retired.
I got there about 15 minutes early, had to catch a little bit of the Ghosts. I think it was their last song, something about Noah, I don't know. All I know is that I went straight to the bar, asked for a shot of vodka, and went outside and waited in the cold.
It didn't take long for the Ghost to stir up controversy. He Who made a remark during a celebrity charity event to his friend that the Ghosts were bigger than Satan. That friend was a reporter for Non-Musician magazine. She later printed that remark in a story which outraged the satanic community. Shown here, burning Ghost material.
Yeah, the Ghosts are bigger than Satan. I mean, bigger in what way? I mean, maybe if you chopped off their little shriveled members and put them in a row and tied them up together, they'd be bigger than Satan. That's maybe the only way if you did all four and maybe added the roadies, because actually the roadies would double it. But no, I mean, I've always thought that was just a publicity stunt. Satan's people were in on it, and that's something that's never come out. The Ghost management, of course, you had to add their members in there too to actually be longer than Satan's member. But it was just a big publicity stunt, and the Knoxville Journal was all over that shit, brother. Oh yes, they were over that shit in a New York second. I think they broke it on the editorial page, and I work for them. It's only a quarter, and it gets a lot of good news. A lot of good news in the Journal. But no, that bigger than Satan thing, it was all just a gimmick. And that thing, if you play on the record backwards and it says that Satan is dead, oh, come on, that is so sophomoric. It's just another one of their cheap-ass stunts that they pulled to get in the Knoxville Journal.
They're barely used.
You know, I had an intimate conversation with the reporter, but, you know, it wasn't really supposed to be an interview, and then I made some little offhand comment that at the rate we were going, the Ghosts were bigger than, you know, going to be bigger than Satan. And, you know, I didn't know he was going to write about it. He writes about it, and everybody goes crazy, and, you know, I don't really see what the big deal is.
Those guys don't even know what evil is.
Not even one damn goat head.
Not even one damn goat head.
Evil is as evil does, boss.
Yes, I won't even dignify that with a reply.
Yeah, I saw him once. Yeah, their lead singer. It's hot as shit. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Go-Go's.
What's that, Ghost bigger than Satan? Hell, I'm an old school Satanist. I mean, I was listening to Iron Maiden records backwards back about 82.
Actually, I had just read in Billboard that Creed is bigger than Satan.
Things began to fall apart within the Ghosts. Crack baby Shivers developed an addiction to Robitussin after having a cold.
I started out with the gateway drugs, aspirin, Diamond Tap, Triaminic. Those things were all good and well for a little while, but it wasn't long before, you know, they didn't do anything about the pain, and I'll never forget the day that I got introduced to Robitussin. I mean, whew. You know, a lot of people might not ever understand this, but, you know, it's the only time that I don't live with the chronic pain of being a crack baby.
Yeah, I come up here to the big city, checking out some bands, and I remember I was walking up behind Walgreens down on the Strip, And I seen him back there by the dumpster with the ball of Robitussin. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but from what I hear, it got pretty bad.
Well, you know, I don't really know exactly how to respond to that question. I mean, obviously you've never been to a robo party, but you know that's something we used to do after band practice quite a bit. And I'll tell you, I mean, it can really be a life-changing experience. I mean, you know, it gets time-consuming is the problem. You know, you start to experience these blackouts, but you know, obviously, I mean, it has no effect on his rock performances, and I think that's the real issue here.
Well, when it comes to Crack Baby's Robitussin addiction, I feel sort of bad, you know, because I did a lot of that Robitussin with Crack Baby. And I'd do some right now if you got it.
My lawyers are real iffy about what I can say about this. He came over to the Ape Life practice space pretending to want to borrow a pick, or a plectrum as he calls them. And we all knew the sad shit truth of that story. Was he knew we had the robe. You know, we call it the robe, short for Robitussin. That's what musicians do. And we had it over our practice place, and he would come over and say, "Hey, is it pick? Oh, is it? Oh, there you've got Robitussin, like, you know, Robitussin is what you call the technical name. We call it robe." And he was going, "Oh, you've got robe." I'm like, "Yeah, man. I mean, you know, first one's free. Go ahead and have a drink." We were all chuckling it up, and next thing you knew, we'd been doing this Allman Brothers cover, and it was about an hour and a half and a couple days long, and some bitch was over there licking the bottom of the bottle. He had broken it open and was licking cut his damn tongue to shit. And we're like, man, you know, that Crack Baby name was kind of like a joke. But anyway, we said, you know, yeah, stop back around sometime if you need some more picks, sure. And then we came back to our practice space a couple of days later, and all the drums were gone. The PA was gone. He left all the PV gear. That was what was weird. But all the shit was gone, and I went over to his house to confront him because he's the only one who knew where we practiced. And there were like 20 bottles of robe just laying in his damn driveway, like a trail, like a sad little trail to his front door. And I got there, and man, he was so robe-faced when I answered it. I mean, it smelled like a damn, like Grandma's cough factory in there. And he, of course, denied the whole thing, which was bullshit. But he gave us a bottle and shut up.
With Crack Baby, you know, he got to where he was, you know, he was robing, it seemed like 3 and 4 times, you know, a day. You know, he'd robe for breakfast, and, you know, it was getting real crazy. But, you know, back in the day, you know, like how they have raves now, you know, we used to go to robes, you know, and they were something else. But, you know, I just think Crack Baby's this robe thing is just way out.
We should have known that it was, we should have known that something was going on, because it was like, we were all hanging out for like 2 years, and during that 2-year period, he never once had a cold.
As Crack Baby's addiction worsened, another member of the band had his own troubles. Dr. Fabulous had opened an office and began performing plastic surgery on cats. At first it was a sensation, and Dr. Fabulous put in long hours and reaped an enormous profit for his work until one of the doctor's former patient's owners sued. The owner later testified that after the operation, the cat was even uglier.
Dr. Fabulous, he's a great plastic surgeon. Hell, let him operate on me. I mean, you know, you can't buy a name like Dr. Fabulous. The people named him Dr. Fabulous.
That's a case still pending in court. I'm afraid I can't comment.
Yeah, the feline controversy. Oh, we all know about that one. I think that was actually, well, Abe Life referred to it as the pussy controversy. And I think, if this is the same story that I think it is that the one where they were in Shreveport at the high school and that cheerleading camp weirdness and the broom? Oh, not that story. Oh, I don't know anything about the other one.
Now was that when he fucked up that cat? I heard he fucked up a cat. Is that right?
As a matter of fact, we actually have seen some of those cats used in Puff Daddy's latest video, and they look great.
Well, in this business, since all of us ghosts are Renaissance men, I became a plastic surgeon. Just really as a side project. But I'd done some research, and I wasn't really surprised about the lawsuit, because you know how all these lawyers are out there. You know that, well, when you're a feline plastic surgeon, you make millions of dollars a year, so lawyers are going to be out there, and there's going to be insurance, and there's going to be millions and millions of dollars at stake. And I'd seen this before in the Iowa pig incident back in the 70s, and I wasn't surprised at all. But my lawyers will take care of it.
I had some work done by Dr. Fabulous a couple months ago, and before that, people thought I had a pretty good-looking cat. But after the surgery, I'll tell you what, everyone who came over just loved my cat. I mean, my friends are still talking about how beautiful that cat is. And I would have him do more work.
Johnny Satin had always been fond of picking transient hitchhikers up and bringing them to his home. While this activity is typically a safe thing to do, Johnny Satin got burned when one transient Johnny had picked up was actually Robert Downey Jr. Downey Jr. ransacked Johnny's house and left with the now infamous Johnny Satin sex tape.
Well, that was a real letdown, I must say. You know, I was there, had a video going, the lights were out. I think I even had a scented candle lit. Popped in the video. I think I dug out some of that special hand-sensitive Vaseline. I was all ready, and then the damn thing, all it is Johnny Satin jumping on the bed, and then when he's done, he gets up and he goes like this. Okay, I mean, is that a sex video? I mean, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that one's probably the most disappointing of all, because we were having a party and somebody broke that video out right after we got done watching that Tommy Lee video. And we put that thing on there. Hell, I've had about 5 beers and I'm looking for some action, and I see him on there doing the little finger thing. There was nothing to it.
Well, to be honest about it, when I saw it, I thought it was just a new boy band, but just one boy.
I was the lighting director on that project, and I really don't feel that I can talk about it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that video a number of times. It's real North Knoxville, if you know what I mean. And someone goes around bragging that they have sex all the time, spanking their monkey alone, probably doesn't convey. It doesn't really meet the scenario that's being conveyed. Anyway, we actually had the video on our tour bus, and at the end of a show, occasionally somehow some skanky little friends would make it on the bus, and they would be on there, and we would be trying to get rid of them, and we'd be playing like Judy Bat's outtakes. We had some old Smoky Mountain Market hot dog that were like 7 or 8 years old that we'd put under their nose. We'd do that. We'd tell them that we were Richard Simmons devotees. And if none of that stuff worked, we'd show them the secret sex bootleg. And that usually got them off the bus very quickly.
Well, as far as that video goes, I don't have too much to say about it except, I taught Johnny one or two of those moves, and I didn't get any credit for them. You know what I mean? And I was a little bothered about that because I swear it took me like 3 hours for me to teach him that one that ended with the twist. I don't know, but so goes life. You know, it's rock and roll, baby. It's rock and roll.
Well, being a Renaissance man himself, Johnny Satin had to make this video something that was really important to him. He had to jerk his demons out.
We have obtained a copy of this video and would like to ask the younger viewers to leave the room while this is shown due to its adult nature.
Our love is in a dream, and as I float across the room, I know how you'll be feeling, so our love is in a dream, and as we go to sleep.
As the band seemed to be breaking apart, He Who had lost interest. He had met Fabio at a celebrity charity, and they had begun corresponding, and even writing music together.
At first he was just reading the Fabio romance novels, you know, but then it got to where he'd disappear in the bathroom for like 3 hours, man. And then after that, you know, he'd contacted Fabio, and they started working together. And then they'd written songs together, you know, like I Love You in the Bathroom. Oh, man, it was just really... And then after that, you know, when the incident with the mallard and the duckling, that was just too much. Just too much.
Yeah, our manager, Barry Schweiner, first told me about the collaboration between He Who Cannot Be Named. Well, I just named him. And Fabio, or Fabio, depending on which part of the Broadway you live on. And about their collaboration. I really liked that song, the little love song they did to each other called I'm Your Human Resource. That was really sweet. Oh, yeah. That was another one we used on our tour bus to get people off. I don't know. I think there was a little tension between the two because of they were using the same hairdresser and all this business. And I know that goes well beyond the good taste to go into the details of that. The cattle prod, et cetera, et cetera. But I think they made a really nice couple. And I think their anniversary's coming up or something like they have some party. They reserved a back room at Naples for that. In any case, I like their other song, Accountant's Blues. That was really clever. That was a great song. It actually followed the standard, if I may. Oh, let me play it like they play it. Accountant's Blues! Oh! All the numbers one could use. You know, I think you get the idea. And I think that's actually where all the money went on the production budget for that. And I think that caused a lot of problems in the band. But in any case, I'm looking forward to their next thing. I think it's a live MP3 called Smegma Times. Smegma Times, I don't know. Who would have known?
All I know is they did this song, Accountant's Blues. Besides that, I really can't comment.
Well, I mean, I'd probably answer that question with a question. I mean, who doesn't love Fabio? I mean, you know, it's like when I heard their song Buck and Bronco, I got this mental picture, this vivid mental picture. You know, it was like the cover of a paperback book, and He Who Cannot Be Named and Fabio, there they were on horseback, you know, and the horse's nostrils were flaring, and you know, it was very hot. I mean that's the kind of thing that sells. You know, people like that.
Yeah, I heard that Accountant's Blues song, and that one's all right because I like the blues. But I heard that other one, and it almost seemed gay.
Well, I remember last summer at the beach house, we were sitting around talking to Fabio and asking him about his collaboration with He Who Cannot Be Named, and Fabio just said it was the greatest thing in the world. He couldn't ask for anything more. He was just so content with it. And we haven't gotten a chance to talk to He Who Cannot Be Named about it, but right after that interview, about a couple hours later, I went back out to my car, and in the back of the parking garage, I looked up, and there was Fabio and Dave Matthews collaborating.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seemed like a natural collaboration to me, you know, when we met and started working with each other. I mean, you know, matter of fact, one time we joked, I think he said this one time, he goes, you're ham, and I'm like cheese. You know, why don't we make ham and cheese? And so, you know, we decided to call the record that. And yeah, we're both pretty proud of it, you know, and I mean, you know, it might not have been received very well by the critics or by the fans. And it got me kicked out of my mom's house. But I'm proud of it, I'd like to say.
All of these burdens weighed heavy on the band, bringing them to a near breaking point. Their future was definitely in doubt.
Accountant's Blues. Oh, I got the Accountant's Blues. All the different numbers you can use. Yeah, that is a catchy song. You know, I mean, the band has almost broken up a number of times. I mean, just over getting confused over their Waffle House bill one day, you know. The waitress said, "Would you like me to put one check per person?" And they said, "No, we can figure it out later." And they couldn't. I mean, they sat in that damn Waffle House for about 6 hours, bitching and moaning. No, my hash browns are smothered. No, yours are smothered and covered. Mine were covered, not smothered. And all the, I mean, it's the same price for both sets of hash browns if you want to get technical about it. They were having the accountant's blues that day, let me tell you, sir. And, I mean, there were all sorts of incidents. The time they opened up for Ape Life at the Bong Ranch, whichever place it was, they actually ripped us off, and you know, they kept saying, "Well, we're the headliners because we went on first. First is one. Headliners get all the money." And there was an argument within the band about that. Not the fact that we didn't get anything, it was how they divided it up. And I told them I could put it all on one bill for them, but no, that they wouldn't do that. And there are lots of little nickel and dime incidents like that. There was the troubles with the American civil liberties thing and the border police. But I don't want to go into that right now because no, I'm not allowed to talk about that one. And the sex video thing, I think there were some members of the band were feeling a little overshadowed, a little threatened, and you know, that type of thing. If I think you know what I'm saying.
Well,
But
you know, a lot of times I had to talk to the band. There was tension. I mean, you know, I had to say, you know, come over and wash my car and stuff. And there was times when I had to say, hey, you know, keep the whites together when you're doing my laundry. You know, there was just the kind of respect that you know, anyone would want. And I remember there was that time that I had to, you know, basically put a machete to Crack Baby's throat and tell him that if he didn't fry those eggs up, you know, just not so runny. I mean, if he couldn't fry up some eggs that were not runny, then he was about to die. But I mean, besides that, it was okay, and we worked our way through it, you know. And that, because the thing is, he makes a mean frittata.
Look, man, it's a B flat.
No, dude, that's A sharp, dude.
Look, dude, you guys gotta play a B flat. It's gonna sound like shit every time you play it.
Completely A sharp, dude. Man, back off, man. Back off.
Calm back down, dude.
You need to calm down. Just calm it down.
It's really too close to call, and until all the votes are in and, you know, everything's been settled out in court, I really can't comment.
I think they tried to make me the scapegoat, really, because, you know, there's a lot of weird things going on in the band. You know, I had the whole Latin satin thing going on, you know, hey, you know, and then, you know, with Crack Baby's robe and, you know, like I said earlier, 3, 4, 5, you know, it was getting crazy. And the Fabio thing, and then the lawsuit with Dr. Fabulous. I was just mad. You know, and I think they all tried to pin it on me because, you know, I kind of did the porn thing kind of was, you know, first, really.
There's a lot of turmoil in the band, and you know, when Johnny Satin, his porn career just sort of took off, and all of a sudden he's no longer Johnny Satin. He was the Latin Satin, and you know, no one else could handle that. And he was making movies. He was flying to Hollywood every day, man. And you know, with all the other troubles, it just really didn't help. And the band was just like this close to breaking up. And then I forget, I was huffing gasoline that day. I don't remember what exactly happened from there on.
I'm going to say this for the last time. The Ghost did not almost break up. I want you guys to get that through your heads. I'm sick of your multinational corporate media hype machine just taking any type of story you want to and running with it. And you're just lying to the people. You're lying to the people about the aliens and about the people putting mayonnaise in my underwear. And I'm really sick of it. And I want these set things straight.
About their almost breakup? Hell, I thought they was broke up.
I've got all the connections. I'm the mover and I'm the shaker. I introduced He Who to Fabio. I was supplying Crack Baby with his Robitussin all along. I was the one who convinced Dr. Fabulous that he had a promising career in feline plastic surgery, and I was instrumental in the filming of Johnny Satin's porno. I thought between all these things I had my bases pretty well covered, and that I would not have to deal with another Ghost record ever again. And then 4.5 years later, they sent me the stinkiest pile of turds I've ever had. It stunk so bad when it arrived in my office I had to open the windows just to get the stink out.
The night I found out the Ghost had broken up, or supposedly broken up, I threw this party. Everybody was coming. It was great. And middle of the party, I get this phone call from the Ghost's agent. Says that they've decided to withdraw that statement, that they're not breaking up. Well, I had all this pate. All my guests went home. It was one of the worst nights of my life.
The Ghosts did stay together. They regrouped and recorded their first record, which has received critical responses.
Yeah, so they sent me their first record, and I'll send it right back.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, to tell you the truth, I don't know about this ghost thing. They've sent us their stuff, and I just don't know if it's a dangerous word around here. They're a dangerous band around here.
Well, is this interview about the ghost? No, go, stop. You gotta get the camera out of here. Stop the interview. Get out of it. Get out of here. Stop. We can't let you in here. Talk.
I don't really like the ghosts.
Do you think they're bad people?
What?
You think that they're bad people?
Yeah.
He Who also began entering invitation-only guitar duels. Here is some rare footage of He Who competing.
Well, I thought guitar dueling had gone out in the 80s, and apparently it had.
You're my world, girl. Come on and take control. Honeybee, honeybee.
After releasing their largely disappointing record, the Ghosts and their few fans have little to do but ponder the Ghost's place in music history.
I don't see how they have a place in history. I mean, like I said earlier, I thought they sucked. If they sucked and that's history, then I guess that's their history.
Well, I definitely think the Ghosts have earned a place in rock history. I mean, I'd put them right up there with, some of my favorite groups. I mean, put them right up there with the Bay City Rollers, Blue Oyster Cult, Black Oak, Arkansas. I mean, you name it, man. They're a sensational group, you know, and I wish them all the best.
Well, the Ghost Place in music history, I think that where we belong is like, you know, when you're zipping down the interstate going like 120 miles per hour and you whiz past a farm, and on that farm, out of the corner of your eye, you see like a cow chewing its cud, and that cow is like got a flea on its ass, and I'd like to think that we're that flea, you know what I mean, in the big scheme of things.
Well, when I think about the Ghost Place in history, I think they belong in the hot-ass epoch.
Well, I think you can equate our place in music history along with Spinal Tap. In the words of Nigel Tufnell.
And the death pony will shake her bloody mane.
You know, I just hate the ghosts.
love is rolling in.
What is your welcome? If you're not Spanish.
Prego.
Oh, good night. Welcome is prego.
Yeah.
Prego.
How do you say?
Like a prayer.
How do you say beautiful evening?
We are.
Turn that off.
Buonasera.
Oh yeah. That's a wine. It's going to be a beautiful
Where is she going?
I don't
Thank you.